Seattle Forge here, and I am in my Tier 6 Chinese light tank, the Type 64, which is probably one of the best bargains in the game if you're looking for a very good tank. It isn't a great credit maker because the AP rounds suck, but it doesn't carry a lot of ammo. It really doesn't. I can't tell you how many times I've run out of ammo in this thing. I also haven't aced this tank before. Spoilers. So I have played, this is my 447th game in this tank, which I love very much, and I've had some unbelievable standout games in, but only gotten up to a first class in it. And despite playing it at a pretty good level, I still only have one mark on the thing. I'm an average player, maybe slightly above average on some days, and it has eluded me. That doesn't mean I don't love it, which I do. I absolutely love it. This gun just spits out shells. It's actually set up with a tank destroyer turret. I've heard people say that it actually matches the actual Hellcat that was used in World War II more so than the Hellcat that's in the game, with its 76mm gun, its layout, its speed. But in this game, it's a light tank, and it's Taiwanese, which Chinese, not Chinese. You decide. In any case, I'm on Overlord. It's I'm down a tier. It's a tier 7 game. And the enemy team appears to not be too aggressive, so I'm pressing my way forward, and I get spotted, and I get very nervous. And there is an arty in this. There's 2 arties in this game, so I could be easy pickings. This thing is not well armed, and it's an open top, so when you get shelled by an arty, it's bad news. But I'm just going to see if I can be opportunistic, and I'm going to see if I can pick up a lot of spotting, which this thing is very, very good at. And I get shot in the ass by a Cromwell by peeking too much over here, and he's not spotted, and I lost my ammo rack, which I repair. And I'm not using a premium repair kit, so I can only repair just the ammo rack, and I get very cautious. So, what am I going to do here? I'm not getting pressured in the middle, so I'm just going to try and use these bushes and pick up as many spots as possible. But I also noticed that I'm not picking up any assistance damage whatsoever for the tanks that I'm spotting. So, it's time to be opportunistic with my gun, which I'm doing. And I can't believe I'm not getting pressured. Usually, if you take up this position, the enemy team will make you pay for it, and they'll rush over the top and finish you, even if they lose a couple of tanks. You just don't want this center area to be occupied for any length of time. It's really important. You have bushy oversight over the entire map, well, most of the map. The beach doesn't count. Okay, so if you look at the our team, we had a bunch of idiots and heavies go down to the beach. They got ruined by their heavies because they were rubbish. Now, you can tell they were rubbish because they went to the beach. Secondly, you can tell they're rubbish because they're dead. Yeah, it was 3 against 2 down there with TD oversight, and they still managed to get wiped out. And didn't give the enemy team any losses. So we're falling behind. We're down by 1,300, and we're down by a tank, down by a gun. And so I'm kind of panicking a little bit here. But I'm not getting pressured, so I'm just going to keep moving from spot to spot and taking opportunistic shots. And hopefully some of my spotting will come up. But, you know, we don't really have... You know, we still got a Panther in the back of the map. We've got, you know, just a cluster of our tanks at E5. And they're not advancing because every time they do advance, they get slapped in the face by the TDs that are at the J-line. And that is She-100 M1. I didn't realize this till after the game, and I got congratulated as my clanmate, Achtung Panzer, otherwise known as Work. And he put one into me. As you can see, I don't play with the names showing. I like to see what tanks are playing, not who's playing them. Alright, I'll just keep opportunistic taking shots, and by doing that, I've got 1,300 damage, and I've only racked up 246 spotting damage, despite the fact that I have spotted a majority of the enemy team. The other thing, I think I mentioned it already, this thing only carries 45 shells, and it spits them out so fast that you really got to keep track of what you got. And we've tied it up to 4-4, which is good. We were down by 2. And we've pulled pretty even. And this thing keeps just teeter-tottering back and forth between the two teams. So I just have to be really careful. And I shoot this Pollock in the neck. That thing actually does have really, really good armor for its tier. Very slopey, very shaped, kind of thick. And it's fairly quick, and it's fairly small for a heavy tank. But I managed to shoot it in the neck. And then our aerial's just going to throw his tank away. He throws over the top. And he has all the enemy team's TDs, etc. to shoot at him. And the Pollock, of course, is proxy spotting him at that point, so he's dead. He also managed to, look at this, sort of the purple number there, he managed to hurt himself. Now, at least I can see the TD nest, so now our team knows exactly where they are. Whether they can do something about it is another story. And we lost that cluster, we're down by 2 tanks. Down by 2 guns. What else do I love about this tank? It is quite speedy. Its acceleration isn't amazing, but it does have a really great top speed. It gets into position. The gun spits out shells like crazy. If you're using premium ammo, the pen is actually pretty good. You can get into flank positions. You just have to be careful that your turret will not keep up with you. When you twist and turn, you can't really circle with this tank very well. It does play a lot like a small caliber TD that's very fast. It doesn't have any armor to speak of, so you do have to play it carefully. But its vision is excellent. Its stealth ready is excellent. It also, you know, at tier 6, it's a bargain. It's an incredibly powerful tank. And if you want a crew trainer, this couldn't be better because it actually carries a very large crew. So you'll have whatever crew you would need for whatever Chinese light tanks you can imagine. So you'll be covered completely, no matter which one you have. And have that crew in this tank to level up. But it's not a credit earner. It really isn't. You do need to use premium rounds. And I actually, after this game, I was like, oh, yeah, you can carry those filthy HE rounds. They don't do anything. And I added more APCR to my mix. All right, we're pulling even again, which is great. Pulling even again, which is great. I'm just going to try and keep spotting. You know, we do have a whole bunch of their tanks at the back. Take that work. I won't make it even, though. I won't make it even, though. One of the nice things, too, is in this game I managed to... Oh, you can see the shots come over the top. There were a lot of people that shot late at me as I pulled back. You know, the other thing that I really like over this with the Hellcat is the reverse speed is actually pretty good. So you can go in, take a cheeky shot, back your way out, and, you know, you've got a really good chance of... Nice. You've got a really good chance. Now, I'm counting my ammo at this point, and so when he goes dark, I'm like, should I really... I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to keep shooting. I'm wasting precious shells. I'm down to 12 APCR. And I'm gonna need those. So we're down by a gun again. Oh, now we pull even. This thing just keeps seesawing back and forth, which is great. And our T-71 managed to get taken down by their KV-2. That's not impressive. That's not impressive. That's someone who didn't commit. That's someone who was fighting a KV-2 frontally, which, you know, stay away from the pointy end. That shell was laying over the top. That Cromwell B was actually the biggest pain in my ass. He was actually playing that very well, like a light tank. In the back, staying hidden, taking cheeky shots, trying to do what I was doing, but he was doing it from the back of the map while I was doing it from the middle. I have more opportunities than he does to actually spot out the enemy team. We do have 2 artilleries in this game, and I'm not going to say they weren't doing their job. The FV-304 was actually all over the map. You know, he just have that short range, and he was really trying to get in shots and be where he was needed. He did go back when there was a bit of a push on our base, which is excellent. The BK-3002M decides that he's had enough, and he's getting into the action, and he's going to try and take out that Pollock tank. And he's getting rid of it, but he's taken out by the Cromwell B, that cheeky Cromwell B. If it was 1v1, I think he would have taken that Pollock tank, but it wasn't. The Pollock tank is taken out by artillery. And I was just trying to keep the TD nest occupied so that they wouldn't mess up our VK, but it's Cromwell. Cromwell is really sneaky, and he's really playing a good game over there. Okay. We have 1 TD on their team that has not been spotted yet. And he's got 2 kills. So he's playing cheeky briki. Cheeky briki. On our team, we have a number of tanks that haven't been spotted yet because they haven't been terribly aggressive yet. They really haven't pulled their head out of their ass, pulled their head out of their own orifices to, move forward and actually put their guns into it. Which is why I still have not a bad amount of spotting now. It's definitely caught up at 862. But given the amount of spotting I had with 2 artillery and all these tank destroyers, you'd hope that they'd have gotten their guns into the game a little better. Now, the Super Hellcat in our team has pulled up, and I think he's the one who got the spot on that A43. I do love this gun, but those small, tiny bites sometimes can really... where did that shell go? Those small, tiny bites. Not amazing. Now, the other thing about this tank is that because it's an open top, it can't use vents. So, that's something to think about as well. You're not going to get that automatic... little bit of extra skill there. Not enough to shoot at there. I'm surprised I'm not spotting him with that little bit hanging out, but who's going to complain? We're down by a gun, but even on hit points, and then there's going to be just enough of himself out there that I can pick up. And even things over there. Bye-bye, Slim. Alright, I'm up to almost 2,400 damage, 1,800 spotting. That's a good outing. At this point, I was like, well, maybe I can mace, but I only have 1 premium shell left. And then I've got 5 of the terrible AP shells left, and 3 HE. It's just not gonna cut it. But I'm almost out of ammo, and I'm really concerned because we still have, 6 enemy tanks to deal with, and I don't have ammo. Hope that went in. Don't know. Looked like it was the back of the tank, which I would assume would be pretty easy to pick up. Let's have a look here. Work. Uh-oh. Now Work's coming in. He's tanking with the front end here. He's tired of this shit. He's tired of getting picked off. He's coming at me. He's trying to make an escape route. Already takes a piece out of him. I get another one into the SU-152, and that's my last AP round. I'm down to my last 3 HE rounds. Now, our P-43 has gone to the beach in an attempt to try to flank, and now he's ended up in a battle. Oh, I'm only getting 7. There's 19 hit points left. 1 EP shell could have ended this. Ooh, SU takes a shot at me and misses. Or he could have been shooting at the FV, I'm not sure. But we're just not effective. I am out of ammo. I am out of shells. Now, the good news is, though, that we've now leapt up to 12-9, which is fantastic. But I'm really worried that, we've got the Scorpion way at the back of the map. I guess he's keeping an eye over the cap, which is good. The Super Hellcat is well behind me, so anything that is south of me, he's not going to be able to shoot at. He's only going to be able to shoot at stuff that comes up over the top. The FV is springing into action. Bert the Avenger is springing into action. I'm figuring I'm going to ram this SU-152, but he's taken down by our S-51, which is nice. It's now 13-9. I am out of shells. We've got Work, who's down on the beach. We've got Chinese TD, who's in the back. I'm just going to try and get to the cap because we're really running out of time. This thing has gone the distance. This thing has really gone the distance. So with just under 2 minutes, I'm going to find myself in the cap, and I send out a message saying, boys, you can't just hide this one. You can't hide away to win. So let's cap or fight. Cap or fight. But don't just sit in your bush. Cap or fight. Now the FV, he's spoiling for a fight. Look at him. P-43 on the beach. He's trying to keep Work busy down there. And, you'd think that Work, if he pushed into him with the front end of the SU the way it is, it's such good armor, he'd have his way with him. But, if that P-43 gets behind him, the gun is all on the front. It's just one pointing end, and that's it. No turret. And it looks like there was a blind shot into Work at this point. Their Chinese TD is trying to get on the cap. It's too late. It's too late for a win. It's too late for a win. And our Scorpion and Super Hellcat are covering the base. And our FV takes out the very powerful SU-100M1. We've only got 1 tank left, and our boys are actually rooming into the cap. The Scorpion's taken out, but the Super Hellcat is going in. Super Hellcat is going in. We've got this secured, though. We're going to win another way, but aha! The Super Hellcat wins, and I finally get a win with a fairly decent amount of damage and assistance. And let's take a look at those post-game stats. Nothing like the smell of fresh ice in the morning. So I'm really pleased to have gotten this. It took forever. I never thought I was going to get it. I thought it was one of those tanks where it just wasn't good enough and wasn't going to be able to pull it off. either living long enough or having enough ammo. I've certainly run out of ammo and not come up with this result before. But also, in addition here, got the high caliber, got a patrol duty, got the scout medal for detecting at least 9 enemy vehicles. As I said, I spotted enough. Where's the assistance? And then, of course, I put out so many shots that I got the Confederate, which is for dealing critical hits to a whole ton of tanks. 12,600 and what? Let's start over. 12,615 win 8. I'm extremely pleased with the result. That does put me at the top of the table. 3,125 damage is pretty impressive, especially at 100 damage a go. I only picked up 2 kills, but 1,672 base XP. I took a look after... this is the highest XP result I've ever had in this tank. I've had 1,400, etc. before, but not quite enough to push it over the top. And the results when I looked at watt replays come up at about 1,600 is what you need to ace this tank, which is ridiculous. Surprised or not surprised, didn't make a profit. Didn't make a profit, despite earning 98,000 credits in this game. My ammunition was 104,000. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.